We are now live. So this is Brad with Paintball Therapy, welcoming Marcus Davis and Kevin Donaldson. Welcome, guys, to the program.
Hello, Brad. How you doing, brother?
Doing very well.
Good.
Kevin, how are you?
Good to see you guys.
And you, mate.
Yep, absolutely great to have you both joining us again. We're going to do this kind of like a weekly show where we premiere it later in the weekend. So it's something that we can promote and build a following for, and it keeps growing and growing. So we're on to something. Let me start off with Kevin and discussing the latest topics with the Woodsball World Cup.
Well, as of right now, we're still a go, although I really honestly don't think it's going to happen for a number of reasons. The state of New York still has us on a lockdown, limiting the amount of people that can congregate. That's the biggest issue. We've got several teams, Marcus and the Predators being one of them, that aren't going to be able to make this event under any condition.
Because
we're hoping
of the flight restrictions.
And I don't think it's a safe environment for them to come to.
Right.
For anybody to come to. We haven't pulled the plug, but I really think we're more than likely going to pull the plug as the Woodsball World Cup. And if anything, it'll probably just become a local event so that if it opens up, at least people can drive to the event.
Right.
We still have some difficulties with the local government, but Jerry Braun and I, Jerry doing most of the work, he's an attorney, is working with the government of New York to try and get us a waiver to hold this event. In the application, there'll be some rule changes. For example, you won't be breaking out from one central start box. You'll be breaking out from the entire back line of each side of the field. You will not be allowed to. You will not be allowed to get within 6 feet of each other on the playing field. So we're talking about, if you get within 6 feet, double up a bunker, or any of that kind of stuff. There could be it'll be an elimination of both players in that bunker. A lot of this is going to be hard to enforce, but we're trying to show the state that we're responsible.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, this Sunday we're going up to the field to try and find a way to stage the teams with enough social distancing, making staging areas large enough for everybody to social distance, as well as keep the teams apart as a total. So we need a lot of land to do that.
Right.
There's some other changes that we made to the rules that I think might be acceptable to the government,
right,
to allow us a waiver. Now, the getting this waiver could be good in two ways. One, it could be a way for us to run a small event. Two, it could be something that could possibly get other paintball fields open,
right,
to be able to do a retail business. If Jerry and I can win this fight with New York, and we can provide the documentation and whatever the decisions are in writing to other field owners, they might be able to get opened up sooner as well. So here again, just like when we had to get paintball legalized in New Jersey, Jerry, we're fighting the fight here in New York to try and get our event as well as all other paintball fields in the country hopefully open if we can do it.
Good for you, brother. Do you know what it is? My biggest dream. If God would grant me a wish and I was a dying man, he said, Marcus, you've got one. If you can go and play paintball and one more event before you die, it would have been to go to New York and play in Jerry's Fields again. Right? I am devastated that I cannot come to the Woodsball World Cup, nor can the team, because British Airways have informed me that they've cancelled all flights to New York. So we can't come even if I wanted to. And also as well, we can't get travel insurance. Right, so I'm absolutely gutted. But for me, the Woodsball World Cup is the platform for Woodsball as a tournament sort of vehicle to grow again, right? And it would be the platform for us to be able to go and play real Woodsball game just for Woodsball players. So I'm gutted that we can't come and play, but I've already spoke to Kevin, I spoke to Jerry, I've turned around and said that Jerry kindly said to me, Marcus, I refund your actual deposit. I said, no, keep the deposit. I'm going to let it roll over to next year when you put in the Woodsball World Cup and we go again next year. Right? Everybody, my main priority at the moment is, like everybody's, for all of us to keep safe, look after ourselves, because what we don't want to be doing is losing anybody now to coronavirus if we don't have to, for the sake of going out and being silly. Right? And all we need to do now is all look after ourselves, be sensible, and when everything's sort of gets back to being normal, if it does, we can go and play Woodsball again and do what we do best and play the game that we love. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most. You know what I mean? Like for me and Kevin, this ain't about money. It ain't about us trying to big ourselves up. This is about the passion that we have for Woodsball. We love Woodsball.
Right.
It's what makes me play. You know what I mean? I play paintball as a competitive sport, and I play in the woods because I love playing Woodsball. And this is what I want to. I want to encourage people to come and play a game and get out there in the woods and have fun and enjoy ourselves. And you know what? If I leave a legacy behind me for people to go out and play in the woods, do you know what? I'll die an happy man.
Well, Woodsball has been, it's where I started. It's where I've put a lot of effort in the last, 11, 12 years to bring it back.
Yeah.
I fought the fight. I'm passionate about it. I'm more passionate about it than any paintball.
Yeah.
But I understand what everybody else is doing out there. And, everybody should be able to enjoy whatever style of paintball they want to play.
Right.
And when we should encourage them to play whatever style of paintball they want to play.
Yeah.
But me, my heart's in Woodsball. My heart is in Woodsball for a number of reasons. Maybe let's call it old school Woodsball, because not only do I like the game and the format, but we had a different, I guess, way of doing business. We respected each other, and we hated each other, but we respected each other. We built friendships. We made it an effort we were a community. It wasn't just about winning and trophies, and even though that obviously is the goal, or we wouldn't be doing it,
right.
But it was the whole experience and the way we handled it. Things like everybody sticking around till the end of an event to see an awards ceremony. I go to these NXL events, and one kid runs up in a pair of shorts and no shirt and sandals, grabs the trophy check, and runs away.
Right.
That doesn't happen in my world.
Right.
In my world, Marcus, the Predators win the event. The Blasters are there to clap for you when you get your award. I don't care if I finished 27th. I didn't go home.
Yeah.
My guys didn't go home.
No.
We stayed to congratulate whoever won the event. What happened to that?
You know what it is respect, right? The thing with it is, look at this now. You've got a Brit guy, an English guy, and an American podcast with you. We're getting out there, and it ain't about where we come from or our nationalities or what we do and don't believe in. But the one thing that binds us and brings us together is we love Woodsball, right? When I come to America and play against American teams, I used to do a lot of boxing years ago, and I use the same analogy. If I was to get in the ring with you, I want to fucking smash you to pieces. But when I finish, right, I'll be the first person to hug you and help you, because we're all together in this. And that's what the difference with it is having that respect for each other, right? When I've had this happen in the UK, you get a lot of these American and English teams. They only want to get up on the podium when they win. They get up there, they do their speeches, and they do this and do that when they win. If they don't make the podium, they go home.
Yeah.
I've never done that in my life.
No.
And this is the difference. You have to have a mutual respect for people, right? And that's what you're saying, Kev. That's the difference. It's like if we went to an event, right? Okay, an example. When the Ironmen come over to England and they won the Mayhem Taunt event, that made me sick to my fucking stomach.
Yeah, I was there.
Right? You was there. But
Yeah.
what did I do? I got them and congratulated them because they done well. And
Sure.
you know what? It's not because I've got an English flag and you've got an American flag. Fuck that. It's the fact that we all play paintball and we respect each other for the amount of effort and our work that goes into it, right? And at the end of the day, the rivalry stops once you finish playing. And that's how it should be. That's what real men do, right? That's the difference. That's what a bit of class is. Something you what's that old saying, right? You can't buy class. And that's the difference between a classy Woodsball team, yeah, and a Woodsball team that are too far up their own arse.
Well,
makes complete sense. I would agree. Now, kind of going into some of the questions that I've heard this week, wrapping up and touching kind of on stuff that we talked about off camera before we started. There were talks about I deem it a proper Woodsball field just because of Marcus's analogy of a proper Woodsball field, but we can say the old style Woodsball field. Again, it's kind of hard to put exact parameters in dimensions, but I guess you could go with minimums. Yep. Where it would have to be a minimum size field where, again, you can't shoot end to end or see side to side and therefore can't shoot side to side.
Yep.
Your fields at the Woodsball World Cup fall completely within that range. And I think that was one of those conceptual formats that would be discussed in depth after the event. Can you tell us, Kevin, some of the feedback that you've been getting from other people on the size of the fields?
I think people generally are happy. See, almost everybody that's played Woodsball, back in the day or, played at World Cups know our fields anyway. So,
right.
I don't get a lot of questions of how big are the fields. Most people say to me, what field are you using? And I can say Ponderosa, Challenger, and Hudson, and they all know which ones they are.
Yep.
But if you wanted to get down to dimensions, we've actually made the fields a little smaller than they were back then, but not by much, and mostly because the terrain at Paintball Sports New York, the old Survival New York, the terrain is not level. We have hills, we have ridges, you have high and low sides of the field. You have, it's not a football field. It is not a hyperball field. It is not an airball field. It's rugged terrain with stone walls, large hardwood trees, rolling land. So what we've basically done is shorten the fields a little bit because I don't want to have defibrillators at every flag station. Okay.
Yeah.
But our average field that we're building now, I would say, is probably 200 yards long by 150 wide.
Right.
Which is, it's 2 football fields. You want to run that? I think you can handle it, right?
Right.
So, that's a very large field. You are not shooting corner to corner on this field. You are not shooting tape to tape on this field in any direction.
Yep.
Basically, you've got to be probably at each other's 40s to hit each other.
Right.
No getting killed on the break. We really worked hard on making the fields very playable, not mirror images of each other, but very playable.
Yep.
With the placement of our bunkers, In fact, we're going up this weekend again, and we're hoping to play those fields and then make adjustments to make sure that all fields can be won from either side.
Right.
Try and limit the stalemate potential, which is the most important thing. And, you're going to have stalemates on these fields. But if you get on them and you learn the little tricks to each field, you can really play them well.
Right.
So, field walking at our location is going to be really important. Really important. I don't know what else to tell you about the fields.
That's the important thing. Yeah, it's gigantic as opposed to too small. And again,
you have 10 men. You could play 15 man on these fields.
Right.
You could play 15 man on these fields. It'd be a little tight, but you could actually have some good 15 man games on these fields.
Right. And that's just amazing. But again, it kind of goes back to the old school, the proper Woodsball kind of feel and philosophy.
We spoke about this last week. I turned around and said that if ever I was to get involved with a series of Woodsball events, there needs to be some sort of a rough standardized rules that you can't be shot on the breakout and you can't shoot from tape to tape, right? And a Woodsball field needs to be big enough that the gun skills, some of these guys can shoot their guns really, really quick and they rely more on their gun skills than they actually do on playing paintball. But that only works if the fields are really small. Right? If the fields are bigger, the game is down to the players, not their gun skills and how much paint they can carry and shoot. Right? And we discussed this last week and all you've done, Kevin, really, without knowing, brother, is just basically back me up for what I was turning around and saying. Right? Is the fact a Woodsball field is a game, it's a tactical game of skill, counter push, attack, defend, push, right, counter attack, counter push, that you can do if the field is big. If the field is small, right, and you can shoot from tape to tape, right, you don't have to engage your paintball brain because it's really, really easy to work out because you can see everybody, right, and you can calculate what people are going to do because most of the time, if the field is very, very small, people have only got one thing to do is come forwards, right? So what it does, it creates more of a counter punch game rather than an offensive game of paintball. The bigger the field is, the more offensive it is because guys can move and outmaneuver other teams, right? As I said in previous podcast we did the other week, the only reason I was bringing the UK Predators back to America is because you guys were building and playing on proper Woodsball fields, right? Some of the stuff that I've watched on YouTube, right, and of some of the other events, let's say these hybrid events, they ain't real Woodsball fields. What they are hot speedball in the woods. Yep. Which is if the airball teams want to play those fields because it suits their style of play, good luck to them. That's not what I've come back to Woodsball. I've come back to play Woodsball on real Woodsball fields, and I think that a standardised rule should be that you can't get hit on the breakout and you cannot shoot from tape to tape. And it's really, really easy to do because if you're standing with a paintball gun, right, if you can't shoot the other player from the breakout with your gun and you can't shoot from tape to tape, that should be the minimum basics for a Woodsball field. And that's quite easy to do. If it's anything smaller than that, it's not a Woodsball field, it's a speedball field. Right? And as I said, that's the reason why I was prepared to put my money where my mouth was and bring the UK Predators back, right? Years ago, the UK Predators used to be heavily sponsored. And we could have come to America out of our sponsorship money. Those days are long gone now. The UK Predators was coming back to America to play, and we was all had to put our own money in to come back to play. We won't be coming to America just for the sake of it. We was coming there to play on real Woodsball fields. That's why we was coming, Kevin. It's as simple as that, mate.
Well, my attitude with the Woodsball fields, there's a couple of reasons that I like the larger fields, and I agree with you, Marcus. when I play paintball, I was never that big, that athletic guy with all the crazy skills, but I was smart.
Yeah.
I was a smart paintball player. And personally, I would much rather play Woodsball on a large field, the game of chess, than a small field, the game of checkers, where you're just randomly jumping.
Well said.
Woodsball on a large field, 10-man, is a chess game.
Yeah.
It's a chess game. And I enjoy chess.
Yeah.
Always did since I was a kid.
Right. Chess is a game played by generals. Chess goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, or thousands of years. Alexander the Great used to play chess.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, it's a game played by generals. You know what it is for me, right? I'm playing chess with my players. Right? That's what it is. It's an aggressive game of chess that you play with your players.
Yeah. That is.
You use your front players as your pawns, your middle players as your rooks, right? Yeah, and your back players as your knights, your kings, your queens. That's what it's all about. It's a tactical game.
But that's what it is, Marcus.
Yes.
And when you look at your players' skill sets as individuals, they assume the role of the knight, of the rook, of the queen, of the king, right? It's it's a game of chess.
But look how excited we're getting because we all can relate to this.
Absolutely.
Right, this is what people are missing out on. Like, if the thing is as well, if you've got those athletic attributes, right, and you can come and play this game, right, the thing with it is you could be some of these airball players. If they would take the time to come and play Woodsball, they would be outstanding in our game.
Right.
Because I'm a believer that, when you play on a small field, which an airball field is, you haven't, please forgive me, this is only my own analogy, but you don't have to think as much as what a Woodsball player is because you can see everything and you've already got everything all pre-worked out because you practice the fields.
Yes.
Come and play Woodsball where you have to think on your feet. Right? The game is a lot bigger, so you have to use and engage your paintball brain more. Right? So what does that do? If you come and play what we do, it makes you a better player.
Right. That is absolutely true.
You can't convince them of that. I've seen it as a fact that the airball players that are playing with me on my Woodsball teams that have been playing Woodsball with us have become so much better airball players.
Without question.
Because they see and think the game not being robotic.
Right. Yeah. It's other layers.
And you see it even in the X-ball game. You can see that the smarter, the better players in even X-ball have Woodsball experience. So what I don't understand is why these kids don't. Hey, look, when I played football, the wide receivers I played football with took ballet.
Right.
Ballet made them lighter on their feet, better receivers.
Well, when I was,
you've got to do everything to really be a good paintball player, and Woodsball is where you get your mental education.
When I was boxing, I used to go and do aerobics classes with all the women used to go to. Do you know why? Because I'm using muscles that a man don't use.
I know.
And you've got to do. It ain't. You've got to look outside of the box. You have to do what makes you a better player. You know what? If you can have a more sort of overall set of skills, it's much, much better. All right, Boo. Boo, do us a favour. Get us another cider out of the fridge, darling, please. Thank you, please. See, my daughter's looking after her dad.
There you go.
Nowadays, I'm getting old. How are we getting on now? Go on, mate. All right.
Absolutely.
But you know what? This is what I love. This is why I want to come on this show because it's like I can feel the passion.
Yes.
Right? This is what. Right?
That's what it's about. That's
Right.
what it's about. You know, I'm doing this 37 years, man.
Yeah, me too,
You know,
bro.
I'm 60 friggin' years old.
Yeah.
And I, you know, other than looking at myself on this camera, I don't think I am. I'm still 20.
Right. Right.
That's paintball. You
Yes.
know, I mean, that's paintball.
Yeah, but you know what, though, Kev? Look at this now, mate. I've known you since 1987,
Yeah.
right? And we're still just as passionate now as we was back then. We look, thank you. Look, we're on a podcast now, right? And we're just as passionate now as what we was 30 odd years ago.
Yep.
Right? We haven't burnt out. We're still here, and you know what? I'm an older man now. I'm 54 now, right? I'm still fit and I'm still here, but I can't run as fast as I used to, right? But you know what? I can still go out and play Woodsball against the best players in the world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I can still hold my own.
Yep.
You can't do that at any other sport.
No.
Right? And that's why I'm so enthusiastic about it. But anyway, let's get on to the next question. Go on, mate.
No, and I'll just touch on it. It's one of the things that, even though some of the quote unquote classic events have more of a speedball in the woods vibe, it's still welcoming and approachable for players outside of the airball box, which I think is great for paintball.
Yeah. Do you know what? The thing is, I keep on saying this each show, right? I don't care if you play airball, hyperball, woodsball. To me, you're all a paintball player. You're a friend of mine, right? If you choose to play a certain format that I don't like playing, do you know what? Each to their own. Good luck to you. If that's what you want to do, fair enough. But for me, a kindred spirit is another paintball player.
Yep.
Right? Just because we play different formats, it don't make you're still a friend of mine.
Right. Right. And that's I mean, that's the overwhelming message of everyone is a brotherhood, you know, and that's a very important thing. Now, Kevin actually asked, Kevin from Illinois asked a question that I think is relevant right now with the topic of the conversation. He was wondering what you guys would suggest for someone starting out on a classic team, how to start out.
Kev, you go first, brother.
How to start out in what respect? Like how to get on a team, or he's already on a team, or
how to build a team. He was looking at building it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, your first thing you have to do is you got to find people, find 10 guys or 12 guys or more that, want to be a part of it. I mean, that's a tough question to answer, because if you show up at fields and you participate and the team thing kind of gravitates to itself almost, it's not like something you put an ad on Facebook and suddenly you're building a paintball team. It doesn't happen like that. Right. So really what you got to do is the way we started, myself was me, my brother, a bunch of friends that lived around me, went out, we were playing paintball. We played a few times. We got into the game. We went more frequently, played against modified guys. And we decided, hey, we want to build a team. There was 5 of us. So we tried to develop a team. But what ultimately happened is we found the MasterBlasters found us. I wasn't an original blaster. The blasters that existed. So the MasterBlasters came to me and said, hey, you guys are pretty good. You want to play on a team? That's how it happened. Yep. I don't know, Marcus, if you had a different experience than me, but basically the friendship and the whole team built itself just by participating in the game.
Do you know what it was? Right. I was the founding member of the UK Predators. And originally my brother, God bless him, he took me to play paintball years ago for the first time. And I started playing and I really, really got the bug for it. And I was fortunate enough that I was naturally good at it, right? It was just one of those things I was good at. And I started playing and like I said, a group of friends got together and then I was a marshal and then I used to ref the games. and I formed the UK. I formed the Predators, and then it evolved into the UK Predators. But what people have to understand, right, is that a paintball team is something that has to evolve, right? I the OG UK Predators, right? Now I've got the new UK Predators. It's taken me nearly 4 years to get to the team back to where I can turn around and say I'm happy with the players. And I use an analogy: square pegs in round holes. You have players that come in and out of the team, right? And if you're the team captain, you have to be what I call the alpha male, the dominant factor in a team. And you have to have, in a paintball team, you can't have a democracy. You have to have a dictatorship, but a fair dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing with it is, if you have a democracy, nothing gets done. Somebody has to lead from the front and somebody has to go, right, this is what we are going to do, right? Because there's loads and loads of paintball players out there, all these wannabe so-called superstars that all have their own sort of take on things. They're no good for you as team players. A team player, for me, I'd much rather have a guy that has lesser natural abilities, that does what he's told, that turns up week after week, that I can train and mould into what I want, than a superstar player that doesn't listen and does his own thing. Right?
Oh, I agree.
Right?
I agree with you 100%.
Right? When you have a paintball team, you're never going to go and get a well-beaten or a good paintball team. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to find the right mix of players to all mix and bond and complement each other. Right? It's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of effort. But you know what? When that magic happens, it's like a machine. Each bit fits and works with each other. And there's nothing better. When you watch a proper world-class Woodsball team play, each player, it's almost like they are linked, like with a telepathic ability. You don't have to talk to each other. Each player knows when one player moves, another player moves, and another player moves, right? It's like watching, like, say, the US Marines, right? Yeah, the SEAL team, the SAS, the commandos, right? The way they move, right? It's like all a military precision when they move, but that doesn't come without practice, and everybody has to complement each other. But to get there, it takes a long, long time. And the thing with it is, the team captain of a team has to be. He doesn't just have to be the team captain. He has to be a social worker, right? He has to be the agony aunt, right? He has to be the marriage guidance counsellor, right? He's got to be everybody's friend, right? Yeah, and he's everybody's enemy as well. But somebody has to stand there and lead the way, right? But as I turn around and said, it's like when a paintball team comes together and you get all 10 guys, 7 guys or 5 guys all playing as one, it is the nicest feeling in the world. And when you become part of that, right?
Yep.
The best days of my life, with the exception of seeing my daughter be born and me marrying my wife, right? The best times of my life has been spent with the guys in my paintball team.
Yep.
Right? And that, for me, that's why I'm doing this show now, because you know what? I want to relive that again. That's why I want to come to America and play. That's
Absolutely.
That's what this is about. And it's like, if you watch, right, the top American football teams, baseball teams, right, football, like English football teams, right, any team that works together, when that magic comes together, the whole team moves as one. And that's what the magic is.
Yep. Absolutely.
Building teams is not an easy thing to do. You know, I mean, I'd suggest to Kevin in Illinois that try and find a team that's decent in his area.
Right.
And work, make that his goal. Jump on with a team that's been around a while.
Yep.
Developing and building a team, like Marcus said, sometimes is a 5 or 6 year, adventure.
Yeah.
And today, I don't think that these teams today have the same team loyalty that our players do or did.
Right.
You know, these guys are jumping teams for a pair of socks. This team wins one event, and these kids run to that team, and then they lose the next event, and they want to get on the team that won the last event. And,
right.
You know, I have guys that if you guys came to the Woodsball World Cup, I could show you, maybe one day on here, I'll show you a picture of my 15-man team in 1988 and a picture of us when we played 2 weeks ago. And I'll guarantee you 14 of those suckers are still playing together. We're still, you know it, Brad.
Yes. Yes.
Guys like me and Rosie and Moon or Mark too. I mean, I could go down the whole list.
Right.
But we've also, over the years, worked in a lot of young guys.
Yes.
But my team, the Blasters, have always been about the young guys. We've always been about growing the game of paintball. So we will, anybody can come and play with our team and practice with our team anytime that they want to come out. Go to the Facebook, the MasterBlasters Paintball Team Facebook page. I post all our practices, and anybody that wants to learn, maybe get on one of my squads, maybe get on another team like GZ, come to our practices.
Yep.
You know, I encourage it. I don't care if you've never played competitive woods ball and maybe you've only played scenario. I don't care if you're playing hyperball or airball. That's all you do, but you want to come out and experience it. Just follow our page. Come to a practice. You're not going to be shunned. Right. You know, we'll take you right under our wing like we always do because you know what? Honest to God, I'm always looking for bodies.
Yeah. Right. And
I'm always looking for bodies.
That's a fantastic invitation, an open invitation.
I don't care where you are in the world. You want to come out, stay at my house. You want to practice. I don't care, man. Anybody's welcome. You know, you want to play professional. You want to play woods ball. You want to learn from some old school woods ball guys. Hook up with me on Facebook.
You know what it is? It's like I've had some really, really talented players that have come and tried out for the UK Predators over the last 2 or 3 years, right? But they've all had their own ideas and their own agendas, and it's all about them. Do you know what? Them sort of guys, right, will never, ever make team players. All the time there's a hole in their arse, right? Do you know what a Woodsball team needs? Is team players. Because the team wins and the team loses. We're all for one and one for all. Together we win, together we fall.
Yes.
If you always remember that, right, that is the one thing together. Because there's nothing, you know, the nicest thing in the world is knowing that somebody's got your back.
Right.
They are
100.
There for you, no matter
100.
what. Yep. And if you want to be part of that, it is the best feeling in the world. But to be part of that, you've got to be a team player. You listen, you learn, you watch, and you become a team player.
Right.
And if the team captain is good, he talks and you listen. And then he asks you, what do you think? And that's how you build a team.
And it goes back to like the multiple layers of what Kevin was saying before about being a chess game and having all the pieces accept their roles, know their roles, play within the rules of their roles. And it's a beautiful thing when that happens.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. Well, there was another thing that Matt had. Matt from Minnesota had a question, and it was geared more towards Marcus. I know that you're not a boisterous or a bragging kind of player, but we talked about something that sparked his curiosity, and it was a record that you guys hold for the longest team run of wins. Could you tell us just a little bit about that? Because it's impressive. I mean, it's impressive.
Do you know what it is for me? It's like I'm the captain of a team. I can't do what I do. Don't for 1 minute think this is all something that I've done on my own. Right? I'm a captain of a team. I'm a figurehead of a team. Without my team, I'm nothing.
Yep.
Right? And for me to be in this position today where you guys are sitting up and listening to me, I haven't done that, man. My players have put me in.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Yep.
The UK Predators won 37 straight tournaments. We went undefeated for 4 years.
4 years.
Nobody ever beat us all over the world. I think I can keep on reading off lots and lots of achievements that we've done, but
now let's dive into that. Let's dive into that because I kind of know what Matt was talking about. That was done pretty much with the same cast of characters, right? You didn't cycle through guys and constantly make adjustments.
No, because the difference with it is, like Kevin turned around and said, the difference with it is back years ago, the players they're different to the breed now. Like players years ago, when they come and played for us, I've still got players in my team that've been with me for over 30 years. Sean Arnold,
right?
Bart Monkman Farmer, right? Johan,
right?
There's some other guys. There's some other guys on the team as well, right? There's other players in my team as well, right? It's like it's not just about paintball. It's the friendships that we built. It's the friendships that we build with each other, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's like we call it, if you look at the UK Predators t-shirts, we have a thing on it. It's called is a brotherhood. Yeah, and we have that put on our t-shirts, right? Yeah, right, and loyalty above all. Right, there's a lot of people out there, like a lot of paintball players that come and guest for the team, right? What can we get? What can I have? Can I get this? Can I get that? Really? No. It ain't about the money. It's
about the experience.
Yep. Yeah, right. And there is a difference. I've had some guys that come. There was a guy that come and join us a while back. A fantastic, brilliant paintball player, very, very talented. A guy called Josh Anelli come and played for me. Right, a little bit. He was a maverick player, but what happened? Unfortunately, somebody else poisoned him a little bit, and he went a little bit wayward. But it's like. You must admit this, Kev. There's guys that come in the team and you look at them and think, you know what? Do yourself a favour. Shut the fuck up and listen to me and be a team player and you could go so far. But they don't do that. Do you know why? Because they want to get on social media and be paintball superstars, right? You know what? Why don't you listen and learn? Do you know what knowledge is? Knowledge is power. And you know you get knowledge? Is listening to us old bastards giving it to you.
That's right.
Yeah, because when I've ever wanted to learn something, do you know what I do? I contact somebody that's more knowledgeable than me, and I'm a sponge. And I will listen and I will learn. Right? Because I'm humble.
Well, we're all learning every day. You know, I mean, to be successful, you have to always be learning. You know, I'm learning from the young guys. You know, I mean, I'm observing younger guys, and I'm learning every day about paintball. You know, I see something they do that I'm like, hey, you know, why didn't I think of that?
Right.
You know? But at the same time, you know, I try to tell my players, I try to tell them and the young guys, and I say, listen, these things that I'm telling you in 10 minutes that you refuse to listen to took me 20 years to figure out.
Right.
20 years. But they all seem to think, you know, these young guys, they seem to think that they've invented all this place, you're the first guy to ever run somebody down. You're the first guy to ever shoot left-handed. You're the first, the guys before you invented this stuff. You guys haven't created anything in 20 years.
Right. We did. We did.
And I got the scars to prove it. You know, it's if they were just these guys, I mean, see, that's part of the problem that I have, with my team now. It's not a problem anymore, but it's trying to get these players' minds erased.
Yeah.
To reprogram them to be part of a team.
Etch-a-sketch.
It really is. And that's a good example. Shake them a little bit. I wish it would erase everything, and then you could kind of bring them more together and be more about the team. I mean, I'm fortunate because even though it took a little while, these guys that I've got, these kids are amazing kids.
They are.
But, at first it was, why am I listening to this old guy? This old guy I've never played a day of speedball or airball. And now it's like, that's because I didn't want to.
Right.
Not that I couldn't.
Nope.
My choice was not to play airball. So you damn well better be listening to me because I know more about the game than you do, and I never stepped foot on the field.
True.
Do you know what the thing with it is?
True.
It's like, how long we've been around now? 30, 35 years?
37 for me this month.
Right. I've been playing since 1984. Right?
Yeah. There's 36 for you.
Right. The difference with it is people tune and listen to these shows, but you know why? Right? Because we must be doing fucking something, right?
Right.
Right? Yeah, because
I take my team to events and I sit on the sidelines and watch them play. And I say, I wish I could put my brain in that 25-year-old body.
Yeah.
I'm wishing that. You kids should be saying, I wish I could put your brain in my 25-year-old body.
Right.
But you know what, though, right? Orson Welles was a great man. And I remember in the mortal line he turned around and said, I will never ever trade wisdom for youth.
No.
Right? But as I said, do you know what do you know I feel like, Kev? I feel like I'm a school teacher taking a class and I've got a gift. I've got knowledge. And do you know what God's given me a gift to pass on. And do you know what my gift is? To share my knowledge with other people if you want to listen.
Right.
If you don't want to listen, go blow blubbles out your ass. If you do want to listen, right?
Yep.
Then I can show you what I've learned over the years for a lot of hard work, sweat and blood. Yeah. And after I've shown you what I've got to show, if you don't agree with it, do you know what? Fine. But at least you've listened. And that's the difference.
They should be thanking us for giving them the opportunity to give them our knowledge. Because it's our choice whether we want to educate them or die with what we know.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but do you know what the difference with it is? That's our gift. And, right? My gift to paintball is giving my knowledge back.
That's mine now too. Mine is to give these young kids, just a little bit of what I enjoyed, when we were winning, when I was young. And then, when we were, I've got to have 700 plaques and trophies in my house, from this game, I want them to experience that once.
Yep.
And if I could give every kid that's playing paintball that one World Cup, that one national event, I'm a happy guy.
Right.
I really am a happy guy. And that's what I'm doing now with the youthful team that I've got playing pro and ICPL now. Brad, my kids are young.
True. Yep. True.
I'm practicing what I preach. I mean, I got a team that one day is going to be great. Hopefully it's next event, but
Right. Soon. Very soon.
It's like a science project, for me at this point, to take a bunch of kids that really never played woodsball and turn them into like a great woodsball team.
Absolutely.
Like you're doing with the Blast Camp kids, we relate on that topic.
No, yes, absolutely. There's lots of common threads in this whole thing because, again, I try to tell them and show them, and some of the guys are very open and receptive, and they pay attention and they listen. And this topic of conversation has happened with my guys within the last 48 hours as team meeting guys. So you guys are just hammering it home. And I just got to sit here and listen to it because it's how it is.
Do you know what the difference between a clever man and a non-clever man is? A clever man sits there and he listens and he learns. Yep. And he then makes a decision what works for him and doesn't. Yeah?
100. Yep.
An unclever man dismisses it straight away and thinks he knows better.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's not me.
Yep.
Knowledge is something you're never too old to learn, right? And there's a reason. What you know what? Right? Why are we older, Kev? When we get older, there's something that we acquire, knowledge. So you know what, all you young guys out there, if you listen to this podcast, listen and learn, right? And if there's anything we can pass on to you, I would do that willingly,
Yes.
right? Because that's what I want to give. We want to give back to paintball.
Yep.
So we can right. All those years of hard graft, blood, right, sweat and tears. We can maybe save you guys having to endure that yourself. We can pass his knowledge on to you, right? Because you know what? All we want to do is see paintball grow as a sport, and all of us get together and become one, regardless whatever format you play.
Amen.
Yeah, amen.
That's perfect.
Yep.
And what I want to do is we are knocking on an hour right now, and I think this is a perfect way to end it. And does anybody have anything that they need to say before we say goodbye for this episode? Because it's a lot to digest. And when
Go first.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, me, I want to touch on what Marcus said a little earlier in closing.
Yes.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my team. Yes. I wouldn't be here if it was, and a team, I should say my family.
Yeah.
Yep.
My team has been my family for most of my life, more than half of my life. And without them, I wouldn't even be on this podcast. The Blasters wouldn't still be going on. I wouldn't be doing any of the things that I'm doing. And, I don't want anybody that's on this team to ever think that I don't appreciate everything that they've ever done for me, the game, the sport. I just can't thank everybody that's been in my life. Not only my teammates, but guys like Marcus and all the OG guys that came up with me. I'm so appreciative of all of you guys. The respect you've given me, the things I've learned from you guys, the times that I've had in my life. If I was to die tomorrow, man, because of all you guys in paintball, you all know who you are. I'm not going to name you individually. I would be happy. I would be happy with what paintball's done for me.
That's fantastic.
Do you know what it is, right? I'm not going to blow an English saying. I'm not going to go blow bubbles out your ass, right? Yeah. But the thing with it is, respect is something you earn. It's not given, right? And for me, as an English guy, you want my respect, you earn it.
Yep.
And you earn my respect, right? You get out there and show me what you can do. And Kev, you and other guys like yourself, the Iron Man, Aftershock, those sort of guys, they've earned my respect over the years because they have the same on the field. We're fiercely competitive, and there's no quarter given. But off the field, all we want to do is put something back in the pot.
Yep.
Right, and like you turned around and said, right, the UK Predators, I'm the figurehead of the team. Not because I am the figurehead of the team, because my team have put me in that position, and that for me is a privilege. Right, and I feel obliged that I have to give this gift back and pass this gift on to future generations. I always keep on saying this. If I can pass this gift on to other people, to have this one common goal, and the fact that that some you can rely on and they got your back in your team, right? You build friendships with people in a paintball team. Right, that lasts for years and years and years. I said, look, Kev, we've played against each other, we've been competitors against each other, but we have like a bond with each other, right? Yeah, there's a mutual respect, and that's a gift to give back to this beautiful sport of paintball. Absolutely. Right? And the thing with it is, it's like this can grow again. Right, everybody now is starting to get back into playing Woodsball, and they're playing Classic. We now have a chance, right? The seed has been sown. All we've now got to do is nurture this seed and watch it grow, and help it grow, right? And just promote and do what we do best, and try and get paintball back to where it used to be. Pardon me. If that happens, do you know what? I'll be an happy man.
Absolutely.
All I'd like to say is, like I said, and Kevin will back me up on this. God bless everybody. Please stay safe. Look after yourselves, right? And we all want to be back shooting each other in the woods again.
Absolutely.
Having fun.
Right.
And doing what we do best is passing this gift on to other people.
Yep.
God bless all of you. Take care.
Now, Marcus,
Yep.
before I let you go, because we talked about it before, I don't want you to forget, but you wanted to thank someone.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There was a really, really kind man that reached out to me a little while ago. Was Caesar from Ultra Silk Gun Loop. He phoned me up. He contacted me. He said, Marcus, I want to sponsor the UK Predators. I said, okay, brother. I don't mind. Yeah, I'll work with you. Right, and obviously what's happened with the coronavirus has gone on. A few bits and pieces have gone on. About a week later, I've got a knock at my door. The guy's turning up, and there's a box of Ultra Silk, right, lube for my team. What the nicest thing is to find nowadays is a man that actually is prepared to put his money where his mouth is, right? The man is sponsored the UK Predators without me signing a contract. All he's got from me is a handshake over the internet. You know what, Caesar? God bless you, brother. You know what, mate? You are a very, very rare breed indeed, because this is what paintball needs now, is people, right, that look you in the eyes, that shake your hand, and they keep their promise. It's something that I'm afraid to say doesn't happen very often. All right? God bless you, Caesar. Thanks, brother. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And with that, I will say good night to everyone, and we will see you next week.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Thank
Brad.
Thank
Stay
you.
healthy, guys.
Thank you.